I still remember the first time I realized my eyes weren't as sharp as they used to be. I was sitting on my favorite armchair, the one by the window where the morning sun hits just right, and I squinted at the little crossword puzzle I always do. That's when it hit me. Some of the letters were dancing. I blinked, rubbed my eyes, and blinked again. I joked to myself, "Well, Paul, either the crossword is drunk or your eyes are finally demanding a retirement party." I laughed out loud, but deep down, I felt a pinch of worry. At 80 years old, I've had my fair share of aches, pains, and misadventures, but the thought of losing my vision, that was a whole new kind of fear. Now, my dear friend, I know you're sitting there probably thinking, "Paul, come on, we're not that old." But let me tell you, there's a difference between chronological age and what your body tells you. Your body has its secrets, little whispers that let you know something needs attention. And eyes, they're the sneakiest of all. They don't just shout, they whisper in tiny blurs, occasional floaters, and moments when you squint at the sun just a little too long. I've always been a man who enjoys seeing the little things. The way sunlight glints off a raindrop, the golden hues of a sunset, the sparkle in your eyes when you laugh at one of my terrible jokes. Losing clarity in my vision felt like someone was slowly dimming the lights in my favorite theater. And you know me, I love a good drama, but I don't like losing the main act, my eyesight. It started gradually, little things like struggling to read the fine print on medicine bottles or holding a menu at arm's length at a restaurant. I blame the font designers, naturally. "Who writes these tiny letters?" I'd grumble. But when I started squinting at my grandchildren's drawings, trying to make out the stick figures and the smiley suns, I knew it was time to take this seriously. So I did what any stubborn old man would do. I ignored it. For a while, I kept thinking, it's just fatigue. I've earned a few blurry days, haven't I? But the truth is, ignoring your eyes is like ignoring a dripping faucet. You might get away with it for a bit, but eventually you'll have a puddle on the floor, and it won't be pretty. One afternoon, I had a little scare. I was tending to my garden, pruning the roses, the ones I've been nurturing since my late wife and I planted them. The sun was bright, the birds were singing, and I felt alive. Then I noticed a strange dark spot in my vision, like someone had cast a shadow across my sight. I blinked, shook my head, but it didn't go away. My heart raced. I thought, well, Paul, this is it. Maybe it's time to retire from gardening, or life. I rushed to the optometrist, and let me tell you, sitting in that chair while someone peered into your eyes is humbling. The little lights, the flashing, the lenses, you feel like a character in some sci-fi experiment. When the doctor said I had early signs of macular degeneration, my stomach dropped. Macular degeneration. It sounds like a villain from an old monster movie, doesn't it? But in reality, it's a sneaky thief that slowly robs your central vision. Now, I'm not one to panic easily, but I realized that at 80, I had to start paying attention. My body had carried me through 8 decades of adventures, and I owed it a little care. That's when I started learning about natural ways to support eye health. I read, I researched, and I discovered that there's a tiny little seed, yes, a seed, that can work wonders for the eyes and retina. It's like nature's little eye superhero, quietly packed with nutrients that help protect vision. You might be skeptical. "Paul, a seed, really?" But I promise you, I was skeptical too. I've tried countless remedies in my life, from herbal teas that tasted like soggy leaves to gadgets that promised to improve circulation with electric shocks. Some things worked, some things didn't, and some were just plain funny. But this seed, it's simple, easy to incorporate into daily life, and backed by science. Before I tell you about it, let me give you a little backstory. I've always believed that caring for yourself doesn't have to be a chore. I like to mix humor with wisdom, because let's face it, laughter keeps you young. I started experimenting with small changes, like adding leafy greens to my meals, drinking enough water, taking short walks, and of course, sneaking in this miracle seed. At first, I sprinkled it on my morning oatmeal, not expecting much. I even joked to the cat, "Look, Whiskers, I'm eating tiny eyeball seeds now." She stared at me like I had finally lost it, which at 80 is not entirely impossible. But slowly, I noticed subtle changes. My eyes felt less strained when reading, colors seemed a bit more vivid, and that occasional squinting became less frequent. I felt like I had stumbled upon a secret treasure hidden in plain sight in a tiny seed. I remember telling my old friend Doris about it over tea. She's 87 and has been my partner in crime for decades, always ready with a witty remark or a knowing smile. I said, "Doris, I think I found the elixir for old eyes." She laughed and replied, "Paul, you do realize that at your age, anything you eat is probably better than nothing, right?" I chuckled, but she was right. Consistency mattered more than miracle claims. Eating this seed daily, along with a balanced diet, started making a noticeable difference. Of course, I didn't stop there. I learned about other supportive habits, like wearing sunglasses when the sun is harsh, limiting screen time, though let's be honest, I love my news updates and crossword apps, and practicing gentle eye exercises. I even created a little morning ritual, a short walk in the sunlight, a sprinkle of seeds on my breakfast, and a few minutes focusing on distant objects to keep my eye muscles engaged. Simple, but surprisingly effective. Now, I can already hear you laughing and thinking, "Paul, you sound like a walking wellness blog." Maybe I am, but I've earned the right to be a little eccentric at this age. And the funny part is, sharing this with you feels like I'm passing down a little treasure map. Imagine me, 80 years old, scribbling secret wisdom on napkins, only now the treasure is vibrant eyesight, not gold. So, friend, now that we've covered the 5 daily habits that can transform a senior's home, let me tell you something most people don't realize. Cleaning isn't just about the house. It's about your life, your memories, and sometimes about dodging embarrassing moments. I've had my fair share, let me tell you. One time, I invited a neighbor over for tea. Thought it would be a nice, quiet afternoon. Well, halfway through our conversation, she leaned back in her chair and suddenly went, "Paul, is that a sock under your couch?" Friend, I nearly swallowed my teacup. But here's the beauty. I had been following my nightly sweep habit. The sock wasn't new, it had probably been under there for months. That day, I laughed so hard I almost cried. And that's the thing. Having a clean home doesn't just protect your pride, it keeps your sense of humor alive. Tip: keep a small cleaning kit handy. You don't need to lug around a mountain of products. I keep a small basket with my cloths, a multi-purpose spray, and a few microfiber towels. Whenever I walk past a counter or see a smudge, I just grab the kit and handle it in a flash. Friend, it's amazing how something so small can save you hours of frustration later. Tip: set micro reminders. I use my old-fashioned clock and sometimes my phone to remind me of small tasks. Wipe the table, check the floors, fold the laundry. You'd be surprised how much consistency improves when you have gentle nudges. And I promise, at 80, I've tried ignoring reminders. It never ends well. Fun habit: make cleaning social. This one's a secret I only share with close friends. Invite a friend over, or even call a family member while you clean. Turn it into a little dance party or a chat session. I've scrubbed my bathroom while laughing at my niece's jokes over the phone. Who knew cleaning could double as social therapy? On emotional benefits, Friend, don't underestimate the emotional lift from a clean home. There's something incredibly satisfying about seeing a sparkling kitchen or a living room free of clutter. I remember sitting on my favorite chair, looking at my polished floor and thinking, Paul, you've still got this. It's a small victory, but at 80, small victories are everything. They remind you that life is still yours to shape. Funny confession. Sometimes I get a little carried away. I've been known to chase after dust bunnies with a broom, muttering about their evil plot to take over the house. My neighbors peek in and probably think I've lost my mind. But friend, it keeps me moving, keeps me laughing, and honestly, it works. Extra tip: rotate focus areas. Even with daily habits, some areas need more attention occasionally. One day, focus on the bathroom. The next, a quick tidy of the bedroom. Another day, a light declutter of the hallway. This rotation keeps the house consistently clean without burning you out. I do this while sipping my morning coffee. Keeps me awake and efficient. Why seniors should embrace these habits. It's not just about impressing visitors or avoiding embarrassment. It's about safety, mental health, and independence. Slips on dusty floors, tripping over clutter, or even losing your keys in a mess. These small daily habits prevent bigger problems. And friend, let's be honest, nothing keeps you feeling young like knowing you've got your home under control. Stories from my life. Oh, friend, I've got tales that could fill a book. Like the time I attempted to deep clean my oven at 79. Ended up wearing half the cleaner on my shirt and half in my hair. Or when I organized my bookshelves and found a love letter I'd written to my wife 50 years ago. Cleaning can be a journey through time if you let it. Simple strategies that work. Keep bins and baskets in every room for quick tidy-ups. Always return things to their designated place. I've learned the hard way. Wandering socks and rogue mugs are the enemies of a peaceful home. Wipe spills immediately. This one seems obvious, but at 80, I'll admit I sometimes get distracted by the radio and forget. The faster you act, the easier it is. Make it a daily routine, not a chore. If you combine small tasks with music, calls, or even storytelling, like what I'm doing with you now, it becomes enjoyable instead of burdensome. Parting thoughts. Friend, I hope you can see why these habits matter. It's not just about perfection. It's about feeling proud of your space, keeping your mind sharp, and living fully even in the later decades of life. At 80, I can honestly say these small daily rituals have given me confidence, joy, and a surprising amount of humor. And here's my final advice. Treat cleaning as part of your self-care. The floor you sweep, the dishes you wash, the counters you wipe, it's all part of honoring yourself and the life you've built. Remember, friend, your home is your sanctuary. Keep it clean, keep it joyful, and it will serve you beautifully in return. So go on, start small, laugh a lot, and enjoy the process. And don't forget, my dear friend, if you found these tips useful or just enjoyed my stories, give a like, drop a comment, and subscribe. That way we can keep sharing stories, laughs, and a little wisdom for seniors everywhere. Life at 80 is a gift, and I promise you, a clean home makes every day feel a little brighter. After discovering the power of flaxseed for my eyes, I started to notice other subtle changes in my daily life. Things you don't realize until they start slipping away. Reading the fine print on my old recipe cards, watching the intricate patterns of frost on the window, or even enjoying the vibrant colors of my garden. All of it became sharper, more alive. And it wasn't magic, though it felt a bit like it. It was the small, consistent actions I'd taken to support my eyes, combined with a sense of curiosity and delight in life itself. I have to admit, my mornings became a little ritualistic. I'd wake up around 6, shuffle to the kitchen in my slippers, and prepare a modest breakfast. Nothing fancy. Oatmeal, yogurt, maybe a sprinkle of flaxseed or two, and a cup of green tea. But there was something profound about it. Each bite felt like an investment in myself, in my well-being, and in my ability to keep seeing the world clearly. I'd sit by the window, watching the sun climb, noticing the tiny dewdrops on the lawn, the way shadows stretched across the grass, and I'd feel this quiet satisfaction that I was doing something right. You might laugh, but I even started talking to the seeds. "Don't let me down today," I'd whisper as I stirred them into my breakfast. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I swear, speaking to them with care made the ritual feel more personal. Maybe it's silly, but after 80 years of life, I've learned that it's okay to be a little silly. It keeps the mind sharp and the heart light. One of the things I discovered along the way is that supporting eye health isn't just about one miracle seed. It's a combination of habits, and that's where the real magic happens. I began to pair the flaxseed with other simple practices: a short daily walk, stretching, and occasionally doing a little eye exercise I learned from an old optometrist pamphlet. It was nothing complicated, just gently moving my eyes in different directions, focusing on objects near and far, and giving them a break from constant screens. These little movements, combined with the nutrition from the seed, created a rhythm that my eyes seemed to appreciate. And here's the funny thing. I noticed that my friends started paying attention too. Whenever we'd gather for tea or a chat, I'd mention the seed, and some of them would roll their eyes. "Paul, you and your seeds," they'd chuckle. But others started sprinkling a little flax into their meals, and slowly a small wave of awareness began spreading. It was heartening to see people taking their health into their own hands, realizing that even at our age, we still have control over certain aspects of our well-being. Of course, not everything was smooth sailing. There were mornings when I'd forget to grind the seeds, or I'd spill them all over the counter. Once, I sneezed mid-sprinkle and sent a little cloud of flaxseed into the air. It looked like a tiny snowstorm. I laughed so hard that I almost cried. Life at 80 is full of these tiny, absurd moments, and I've learned to cherish them. They remind me that even when we're focused on health, humor is essential. Now, I want to share a little more about why this seed is so special for the eyes. Flaxseed is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which are crucial for reducing inflammation and supporting retinal health. It also contains antioxidants that help protect against age-related damage. When I first read about this, I thought, well, that sounds promising, but I'll believe it when I feel it. And slowly, over weeks and months, I did feel it. My eyes were less dry, less strained, and I could focus on small details for longer periods. It was subtle but noticeable. And let me tell you, my dear friend, the emotional impact of seeing clearly again is profound. I can't overstate it. There's a certain dignity in being able to read a book without squinting, to recognize faces from a distance, and to enjoy the colors of a sunset without any haze. It's a small thing, but it touches every part of life: your independence, your joy, and even your confidence. Of course, I didn't stop there. I started experimenting with different ways to incorporate flaxseed into my diet. Some days, I'd mix it into a smoothie with berries and yogurt, pretending I was a young nutritionist rather than an 80-year-old man with a penchant for humor. Other days, I'd sprinkle it over salads or mix it into a hearty soup. Consistency was key, but flexibility made it enjoyable. Life at 80 should be about nurturing your body without feeling like a chore. I also learned the importance of hydration. Water, my friend, is often overlooked. Our eyes need it just as much as our skin and joints. I started making a conscious effort to drink water throughout the day, carrying a small bottle with me wherever I went. It's funny, at first I felt like a toddler with a sippy cup, but soon it became second nature. I joked to my neighbors, "Hydrate or hibernate," and they'd laugh, shaking their heads at my antics. But underneath the humor, the habit was working wonders for my eyes and overall well-being. Another thing I discovered was the power of sunlight, in moderation, of course. Early morning sunlight, just enough to warm your face but not burn your skin, provides vitamin D and supports circadian rhythm, which indirectly benefits eye health. I made it a point to step outside each morning, breathe deeply, and let the sunlight gently touch my face. Sometimes I'd even close my eyes and imagine the light nourishing my retina. Call it meditation, call it visualization, call it old man weirdness. It works. And speaking of weirdness, I have to tell you about the time I decided to make a little eye garden in my backyard. I planted marigolds, sunflowers, and leafy greens, inspired by the nutrients that support vision. I'd spend hours tending to it, squinting at the delicate leaves, pulling weeds, and humming old tunes. It became a daily ritual, a physical expression of caring for my eyes and my soul. There's something therapeutic about nurturing life around you. It mirrors the care you give to yourself. Now, I can hear you asking, "Paul, all of this sounds wonderful, but what about practical tips?" Well, let me share a few that have become part of my daily life and could be useful for you too. First, sprinkle flaxseed on your breakfast daily. Oatmeal, yogurt, smoothie, whatever works for you. Second, stay hydrated. Water is your friend. Third, give your eyes a break from screens every hour or so. Fourth, enjoy short walks in natural light. Fifth, practice gentle eye exercises. And sixth, keep your sense of humor alive. It's better than any supplement. It's funny, my journey with eye health has taught me more about life than I expected. I've learned patience, persistence, and the joy of noticing small improvements. I've also learned to embrace the quirks of aging, the gray hair, the creaky joints, and yes, even the occasional blurry vision. Each day is an opportunity to care for yourself, to savor the little things, and to laugh along the way. I also want to emphasize the emotional side of this journey. At 80, I've seen friends struggle with vision loss, and it's heartbreaking. The inability to see clearly affects independence, confidence, and connection with the world. That's why I'm passionate about sharing what works, even if it's as simple as a humble seed. Every small action counts, and when combined with consistent care, it can make a significant difference. And let me tell you, there's a joy in sharing these practices. I've started passing along my eye wisdom to friends and family. Some listen eagerly, some skeptically, and some with gentle teasing. But seeing them try these small habits, noticing improvements, and sharing laughter over my antics, it's a reward beyond words. Health is not just a personal journey, it's a shared experience, a way to connect and care for each other. I also found that journaling my progress helps. I jot down small observations. Eyes felt clear reading the newspaper, or sunlight made the colors pop today. It's a way to stay mindful, track improvements, and celebrate victories, no matter how small. Reflection combined with practical action creates a sense of empowerment. Even at 80, I feel in control of my well-being, and that's a remarkable gift. Now, my dear friend, I want you to remember something crucial. Supporting eye health is not about perfection or drastic measures. It's about consistency, awareness, and a touch of creativity. The flaxseed is the star player, yes, but it works best when combined with other simple habits: hydration, sunlight, gentle exercises, and a balanced diet. And of course, never underestimate the power of laughter and joy. They nourish the mind and soul, which indirectly supports the body in ways we're only beginning to understand. I've also come to appreciate the aesthetic joy of eating well. Preparing a meal with fresh ingredients, sprinkling seeds on top, arranging the plate with care. It's a form of mindfulness. I savor each bite, noticing textures, flavors, and colors. This practice reinforces gratitude for what my body can do and reminds me that self-care can be pleasurable, not just functional. One of my favorite moments each day is the late afternoon light. I sit by the window, sip a cup of tea, and watch the shadows lengthen across the garden. I notice the veins in the leaves, the subtle movements of the birds, the glint of sunlight on my glasses. These details, once blurred or unnoticed, now feel vivid. I attribute this not just to the flaxseed, but to the holistic approach I've cultivated: nourishment, mindfulness, movement, and humor. And let's not forget the laughter. Oh, the laughter. I make jokes about my spectacles being high-tech eye shields and how sprinkling seeds is my secret superpower. Sometimes my neighbors hear me and shake their heads, muttering about old men losing their marbles. But I don't mind. Laughter keeps the spirit young, and a young spirit supports a healthy mind and body. As I reflect on this journey, I realize that it's not just about eye health. It's about how we approach aging. We can choose to embrace small, consistent habits that enhance life, rather than lament what's lost. Each day is an opportunity to nurture ourselves, appreciate beauty, and share wisdom with those we care about. Even at 80, I feel vibrant, engaged, and grateful. So, my dear friend, if there's one thing I hope you take from this long-winded tale, it's this: tiny seeds, simple habits, and a joyful mindset can profoundly impact your eyes and your life. Don't wait for a scare to start caring. Begin today with small steps: a sprinkle of flaxseed, a sip of water, a moment in sunlight, and a smile. Your eyes and your soul will thank you. And as I finish this little reflection, I can't help but chuckle at the absurdity of it all. An 80-year-old man chatting about seeds, exercises, and sunlight as if he's some sort of wellness guru. But that's life, isn't it? Full of quirks, lessons, and little miracles hidden in plain sight. Even now, I look out the window, seeing the garden alive with color, the birds flitting about, and the world as vivid as it's been in decades. I sprinkle a little more flaxseed on my oatmeal, smile, and feel content. Life at 80 isn't about slowing down. It's about seeing clearly, moving with purpose, and savoring every moment. And that, my dear friend, is the continuation of how a tiny seed, paired with care, mindfulness, and laughter, became my secret to supporting eye and retinal health naturally. Every day is a chance to nurture your senses, cherish your independence, and enjoy the beauty that surrounds us. Even at our age, the world is full of vivid colors, intricate details, and little wonders waiting to be noticed.